Yeah, hello everybody. Good evening. I'm here now with an Uzbek lady, Leyla Nevatullaeva, Lokon, right?
Yes.
Leyla is for short, right? And
Mhm.
Lokon is surname, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
actually, Leyla Han is my first name.
oh,
It's just for
okay.
people to make it convenient to pronounce my name.
Uh-huh.
I prefer people to call me Leyla, but Leyla Han and Leyla, they actually have similar meaning. It's a Arabic name, so
Right.
yeah, you can call me Leyla.
Oh, okay. Your surname is Nematulaeva, is it?
Yes,
Ah,
Niamatuleva is
okay.
my surname.
Right. So thank you for joining us to talk about trend of Uzbek women
Yeah,
to migrate, yeah, to work abroad. Yeah, I actually observed, on the phenomenon of Uzbek women working abroad. So, can you give any comment or opinion on the
yeah.
trend of Uzbek women migrant to work abroad?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So in general, when it comes to Uzbek women, indeed, the number of ladies who try to pursue a better
Mm-hmm.
job, better opportunity abroad is
Right.
increasing. In the
Mm-hmm.
past, it was more of a domestic labor.
Right.
It was more of, let's say, flying to Turkey or flying to Russia
Uh-huh.
and working there. Primarily, the reason was Russia and Turkey. They are good in terms of visa accessibility,
Right.
and at the same time, first 30 days you are not required to hold any visa.
Mm-hmm.
You can enter without visa. And
Right.
plus the convenience in language. As you
Right.
know, previously Uzbekistan was in the USSR, meaning
Mm-hmm.
Soviet Union, the part of the Soviet Union. That's why people
Right.
in my country and in general, my neighboring countries, they do speak Russian, and we
Mm-hmm.
speak Russian quite well. So it was quite good for us to, let's say, how to say, travel to Russia and work there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The same goes for Turkey. In general, the Turkish language is quite close to Uzbek language, so
Right.
it's quite easy for people in Uzbekistan to pick up Turkish language. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why they used to travel for this reason. It
Right.
was again, as I told you, domestic labor. But
Mm-hmm.
as time goes, as
Mm-hmm.
in our country,
Mm-hmm.
especially, like the government pays a huge attention on improving the language level of the student. It basically invests a lot on education of students. Right
Right.
now, the purpose of traveling is less of a domestic labor and more
Mm-hmm.
of getting a better education, than landing in
Right.
a good position, than working in
Uh-huh.
a service, working in education, like me.
Right.
Initially, I traveled to Malaysia. The purpose was my study. I
Mm-hmm.
studied at the same university I work right now. And
Right.
after graduating, I decided to stay at the same
Mm-hmm.
university because I love my university a lot.
Right.
And I started working as international student recruitment office counselor, and I'm doing so up to these days. So
Right.
I mean, as time goes, I see these growing trends in most
Mm-hmm.
of the women, changing this idea of like staying in the same place, but
Mm-hmm.
traveling, seeing the world, and then
Right.
finding a better job.
Mm-hmm.
So I really do realize that it's a good trend,
Right.
for the person to see the world, for the person to become
Uh-huh.
more, how to say,
Mm-hmm.
open-minded in some sense, to
Right.
improve how to say, to look into the things with a different perspective.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So when we
I
speak, yeah,
also,
go
sorry,
ahead.
one
Go
thing.
ahead. Go
So
ahead.
the countries, people in my country, especially ladies, travel the
Mm-hmm.
most as I mentioned it, it's Turkey, Russian,
Right.
South Korea.
Mm-hmm.
For example, I have a lot of friends of mine who are working, first studied, and right now working in South Korea,
Right.
because of the work opportunity and plus high salary. So the salaries
Right.
there is quite good.
Mm-hmm.
Again, the same goes for the UAE, for Emirates.
Right.
So quite good service, how to say, vacancies,
Right.
and these are the countries that
Mm-hmm.
mostly
Mm-hmm.
ladies travel.
Right. So when Uzbek women going abroad for working, normally what type of or what kind of job, do they take?
So actually, I feel that mostly it's in a service or
Mm-hmm.
education.
Right.
The people in my country, they are really good in beauty industry. I mean, in
Okay.
general, we're really good in it.
Uh-huh.
So most of the ladies abroad, they work in some positions like this, like
Uh-huh.
beauty salons,
Uh-huh.
how to say, lash makers. So these are
Right.
the quite well paid positions, I
Okay.
might say. Education, like me,
Uh-huh.
recruiting students, being an agent.
Okay.
I have my friends in US. I have one of my
Mm-hmm.
friends who pursued master's degree and
Okay.
currently working as HR in the logistics company. So
Right.
basically, these are companies, services. I have one more friend in
Uh-huh.
Emirates who is currently working as real estate agent. So basically, it's
Okay.
service, more of a service education, service education.
Right. So it's quite variety of job, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned about the beauty business. Is it also including becoming a model or something?
Like, let me put it that way. I've
Yeah,
seen quite many cases in Malaysia when,
right.
let's say, my friends,
Uh-huh.
while they were studying, pursuing their bachelor's degree, master's degree,
Right.
they were actually involved in the modeling business,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
not that much. It's
Okay.
not as big, so I can include it as, how to say,
Uh-huh.
as the quite big category of it. I feel like it's a
Right.
minority,
Uh-huh.
minority of ladies from
Right.
Uzbekistan, they work, yes, as models.
Okay. Yeah, you mentioned the typical destination countries like Russia,
Yes, yes.
Turkey, and
Mhm, mhm.
Malaysia as well, right? Do you have some other countries to mention?
Yeah, yeah, sure. Of course I can. Um, Malaysia, let me start with Malaysia.
Right.
Uh, Getting education is in Malaysia is
Hmm.
great opportunities.
Right.
I'm sure that it's perfect because Malaysia
Uh-huh.
itself is quite friendly country,
Hmm. Hmm.
and living expenses are almost the same as here in
Right.
Uzbekistan. I might say
Hmm.
that Kuala Lumpur actually it's sometimes I feel
Hmm.
that it's cheaper than living in Tashkent. Tashkent is quite
Okay.
expensive capital
Hmm.
city. And plus, you can find any field you want, any university,
Hmm.
up to you, what ranking you want to choose.
Right.
However, in terms of work, it's not that easy to get work permits,
Right.
to company to find the company that is going to cover your work visa. For
Hmm.
example, in
Hmm.
my case, yes, it's how to say, my company, my university was
Hmm.
ready to do so, but I cannot say the same about all of the graduates who are graduating Malaysian
Hmm.
universities. I feel like it's a quite good, how to say, choice for
Hmm.
the government itself. They have their
Right.
own reasons behind it. The same
Hmm.
goes for getting citizenship. The same goes for getting work permits.
Right.
But I feel like this is the reason we have a lot of people traveling. We have a lot of people studying,
Uh-huh.
girls who are studying in Malaysia, but not
Right.
as much working there.
Uh-huh.
So, and also, I might say that US is quite a good destination for most of the
Okay.
ladies, the women from Uzbekistan.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, in my country, I'm sure that it refers to most of the developing countries.
Uh-huh.
They feel that the golden ticket is for them to get the visa to US and
Mm-hmm.
like start their life there, win
Uh-huh.
a green card. It's still like a huge trend in my country. And
Okay.
when people are given this option of let's
Mm-hmm.
say flying to US, I might say that like they are ready for anything, like any money, anything, just
Mm-hmm.
to start their life in US. So
Okay.
I can say that yes, quite a lot of friends of mine,
Mm.
quite a lot of ladies, they work in
Right.
great.
So, Uzbek ladies working abroad, not just working for temporary basis, but some of them also for staying, I mean, for very long time, or even
Yeah.
changing the citizenship.
Yes, yes, yes,
Mm,
yes,
okay.
happens. I
Mhm.
think it happens. I actually have seen several cases in
Right.
Malaysia
Mm-hmm.
when some of my sisters they got married
Mm-hmm.
to a Malaysian guy, and right now
Right.
they have kids. They are living there, and because this is, if I'm not mistaken, like legally, in case she gets
Mm-hmm.
married, then
Right.
she can, after some time, get the citizenship as well. So we
Mm-hmm.
have such cases, of course. We do have such cases when
Okay.
let's say, yeah, yeah, the reason they are staying longer is because they are getting married.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say they are feeling that this is the pl best place for them to live, and
Right.
yeah.
Okay. One more thing about Indonesia. Do you know, are there some Uzbek ladies
I
going to Indonesia
I've
or
never
coming to
encountered
Indonesia?
it. I've never encountered. I actually have seen a lot of male friends of mine from
Yeah.
Tajikistan, from Kazakhstan, who has
Uh-huh.
pursued their bachelor's and master's degree in
Uh-huh.
Indonesia. Because in
Right.
Indonesia, as I know, they have really great offers, like
Uh-huh.
top offers
Right.
in terms of the language. Like, for example, the full grant scholarships that cover
Mm-hmm.
your
Mm-hmm.
living expenses and plus free education for 1 year, but you need to
Mm-hmm.
learn the
Mm-hmm.
Indonesian language. But and
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's really great opportunity for most of the people to, how
Right.
to say, to have. But
Uh-huh.
I don't know why I didn't really see too many girls. Actually, none of Uzbek ladies that's work, study there. Maybe I'm not
Mm-hmm.
super
Mm-hmm.
aware of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I only know a few male students from Uzbekistan.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes,
but not ladies.
not ladies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but how about those who are working in Indonesia? Do you hear something, anything about Uzbek women working in Indonesia?
Actually, most of the places in Indonesia, they are touristic
Okay.
places,
Mm-hmm.
basically. And like, I know that there are agencies that
Mm-hmm.
are
Mm-hmm.
located in Uzbekistan,
Right.
and at the same time, they have their how to say how do you call it? They have their own branch in Indonesia as well. So
Right.
I know that there are some of Uzbek ladies working
Mm-hmm.
in such touristic companies,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
not really sure. Not really
Mm-hmm.
sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, one of our former president
Mm.
son, was married
Huh.
to the Uzbek lady. That's, I think, a long time
Ah,
ago.
I see. I
So, but
see.
nowadays, I think Uzbek is become destinations for what we call Umrah, after
Yeah.
visiting Mecca and Medina, and then,
Oh,
transit
yes.
in Uzbekistan, to see Imam Bukhari tomb,
Yeah.
right?
Yes,
Uh-huh,
yes, yes.
uh-huh. So I
Absolutely
think
right.
become now a bit more popular. Uh,
More popular.
yeah, more
Indeed.
popular. Yeah, yeah,
Uh, First time in 2019 when I was in Malaysia,
right.
every time when people ask me where are you from, I say
Uh-huh,
Uzbekistan, and they're
right.
like, "Is Pakistan?" I was like, "No, it's not Pakistan. It's Uzbekistan." And like, "Is it Kazakhstan?" Like, "No, no, no, it's Uzbekistan." So, Uzbekistan wasn't that popular back then.
Right.
But right now, I'm so much happy that the number
Mm-hmm,
of tourists are
mm-hmm,
increasing.
mm-hmm,
Like, as
mm-hmm,
you know, we also met in the train stations. Like, it was
mm-hmm,
such a
mm-hmm.
pleasant encounter.
Right.
And I see that the number of tourists are increasing, and plus the
Uh-huh,
awareness of the such like they are actually considering it as one of the pilgrimages, like
mm-hmm,
going and visiting this
right.
like places of our ancestors to
Mm-hmm.
immerse themselves into the religion deeper. And like I'm really happy to see that. I'm really
hmm
happy to
hmm
see more foreigners coming to our
hmm
country, and that Uzbekistan is not confused as Kazakhstan or Pakistan, but it's being like Uzbekistan, like,
Yeah, nowadays it's
quite
quite well
known.
known. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm
Yeah,
really
especially
happy.
with, as you mentioned, the typical ladies, Uzbek ladies are more, people say beautiful. Is it
Ah,
right?
yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, yeah, that's another typical, what's it, branding,
Uh-huh.
yeah, beautiful ladies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
indeed.
And back to the families, government. Do families and government support, the activities of working abroad for Uzbek ladies?
Such a nice question, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually thinking about this question for some
Mm-hmm.
time. Do they support? Like,
Uh-huh.
basically, of course, your effort of
Mm-hmm.
studying well, getting a proper education, and then pursue, like, getting some scholarships, and
Mm-hmm.
then
Mm-hmm.
studying abroad is
Right.
quite prestigious thing,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
like it actually also shows your status. It shows
Mm-hmm.
how good you are in a sense.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
However, we still do have these stereotypes. It's
Right.
like a social discussion hot topic
Mm-hmm.
currently, especially in social media as well,
Mm-hmm.
that the girl, especially not married, who traveled abroad,
Mm-hmm.
studied there, and worked, somehow their reputation somehow is
Mm-hmm.
not that good as the girl
Mm-hmm.
who has never who have never left the country.
Mm-hmm.
Like they question the morals. They question like, how did this girl do this? How did she
Mm-hmm.
live? Nobody was monitoring her life,
Mm-hmm.
and like nobody knows, like who knows
Mm-hmm.
what she is doing there. So these are the things. I'm sure this is the thing that is prevalent in most of developing countries. Again,
Right.
when we're talking about Central Asian countries like
Mm-hmm.
Uzbekistan, like Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan,
Mm-hmm.
the same story. And there is something that happens once the person in general, especially when the girl travels, when she sees
Mm-hmm.
the world, when she
Mm-hmm.
explores new life, we start looking at things differently. Once we come
Mm-hmm.
back, we're not already that person who has left the country. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, our some of the moral codes change. Some of the
Mm-hmm.
things that used to be, let's say, looked as quite like bad things in a sense,
Mm-hmm.
or like prohibited things, we actually
Mm-hmm.
look at this like in a very open-minded way. And sometimes
Mm-hmm.
when let's say people see that we are independent, we have
Mm-hmm.
our own values right now,
Right.
ambitions are super high, it
Mm-hmm.
it in a sense scares people. Like
Mm-hmm.
I can say about my own family as well.
Right.
They do tell me that you've changed. I
Mm-hmm.
say I
Mm-hmm.
change. I travel a lot. I change every time I travel.
Right.
So that's why we have these stereotypes. Honestly, we
Mm-hmm.
have these
Mm-hmm.
stereotypes. We have this uh, these kind of things. I feel like how to say, discourage most of the
Right.
girls to, let's say, to
Mm-hmm.
travel. And we have lots of conservative families that don't
Okay.
allow girls to travel. They allow
Mm-hmm.
boys to travel. They say that
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you're going to be a backbone of our family,
Right.
and so you have to see the world and get the best education. But in terms
Uh-huh.
of girls, they say, no, you are anyways going to get married, and it's
Mm-hmm.
not really good for the reputation of the girl to travel. So yeah,
Okay.
this is, I think that like the how to say, this is the thing that I have to admit in this case.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. When you studied in Malaysia, in Xiamen
Yes,
University, Malaysia, did you
yes,
have
yes, yes.
scholarship or you paid by yourself?
Actually, Actually, Xiamen University Malaysia gives quite good opportunities for international students.
Okay.
The requirements are quite low, but but there is an opportunity of gaining up to 100% scholarship.
Mm,
So, of course, it's a merit-based scholarship, meaning you need
right.
to maintain, I mean, you have to perform well for you to continue with the
Uh-huh.
scholarship. I was that student who was working every day for 9 hours, studying and
Okay.
doing my best. And I have actually secured this scholarship and graduated with scholarship. So
Right.
I feel it was cheaper for my parents to
Mm-hmm.
let me study abroad than I studied in
Okay.
my own country.
Right. Yeah, yeah. Now you work for the university, right?
Yeah, now I work
As
for the university.
educational consultant,
Yes.
especially student recruitment
Yes.
center, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, okay. So what do you do with your job?
Basically, my job is being a representative of my
Uh-huh.
university and
Uh-huh.
being a representative of, let's say, Uzbek students in
Right.
Malaysia and all.
Okay.
I am responsible for students coming from Uzbekistan and from a couple
Uh-huh.
other countries,
Right.
from Tajikistan, from Kyrgyzstan, from Mongolia, from Russia, and from Turkey. So this is
Okay.
the reason I travel quite often. I
Right.
come to Malaysia and then I have presentations, I have educational fairs. So I
Mm-hmm.
travel quite often. Like even when it comes to our encounter, that was the day
Mm-hmm.
when I was traveling to Samarkand. It was like
Right.
Samarkand, Bukhara, Jizak, and I had to visit those cities, those
Uh-huh.
schools, and do presentations. Like
Right.
basically, my work is always traveling
Uh-huh.
and like
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
nice
spreading
for those who
awareness.
love
Yeah,
traveling.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Spreading awareness of my university,
Mm-hmm.
and also preparing the visa process, like being responsible for a visa process and for
Okay.
other processes of students.
Yeah, but you are residing in Uzbekistan, right? In Tashkent.
I cannot even say clearly, am I residing here or no,
Oh,
because I have
okay,
work
because you are
permit.
moving all the time.
Yes, yes, yes,
Ah,
yes.
okay.
Because I have to stay more in Malaysia than I
Uh-huh.
stay in Uzbekistan. I have to stay for some months in Malaysia, especially when
Right.
this is the beginning of the intake. We accept students 3 times a year, so that's
Uh-huh.
why each beginning of the intake, I need to be there.
Okay, so your job is very dynamic,
Yes, a
full
lot,
mobility.
a lot.
Yeah,
Yes, full mobility.
around the world, basically.
Yes,
Yeah, that's it's very good. Yeah, maybe this is the last questions.
yeah.
For those who are working abroad, actually, do you see any favorite country? You mentioned Russia in general, Turkey, US, but any specific country that Uzbek women think of very much, when
Uh,
working abroad.
like, well, you mean like the place, the most favorite destination, you
Yes,
mean, right?
destinations, country or city. Yeah,
Okay, I think it's Turkey.
Turkey. Yeah.
Yes, I feel Turkey, one, because of the, as I told you, the language that is
Uh-huh.
quite accessible for people to learn.
Right.
It's easier to learn Turkish language for us than to learn English for sure, and
Mm-hmm.
Russian as well.
Right.
And plus, Turkey has this, like the vibes that are so much familiar to us.
Right.
People in my country, they adore watching Turkish series, and then we love
Right.
their culture. We love their culture a
Uh-huh.
lot.
Uh-huh.
The generally the architecture, this beautiful sightseeing places, like
Right.
we adore it a lot. So that's why
Right.
I feel it's still the economy of Turkey is not stable in recent
Right.
years.
Mm-hmm.
It is getting more and more expensive every year for people to
Right.
travel, and like people are already moving to some other destinations, like
Mm-hmm.
again
Mm-hmm.
Malaysia, Thailand,
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
again like Indonesia.
Right.
But in terms of but still, it's a kind of sweet spot for us to go to Turkey.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Mm-hmm.
feel like Turkey is like kind of quite great place. But
Uh-huh.
for me,
Uh-huh.
Malaysia is the first and the last love of mine. I
Ah,
love this
okay.
country a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Malaysia is the place where I really found my independence, my
Right.
freedom, where my ideas, where my efforts were
Mm-hmm.
recognized. And like in general, when it comes to women in Uzbekistan,
Mm-hmm.
we travel, of course, for financial stability. We
Mm-hmm.
travel see better places, but at
Hmm.
the same time, we travel because we yearn for this freedom, for
Hmm.
independence, and it's a kind of place where, yeah, this is the
Hmm.
reason basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's nice. Thank you very much,
Thank
Leila, for
you.
the conversations. And I
Thank
hope
you.
to have another conversation with different topics next time.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Why not? I will be really happy. Thank you so much for reaching out to me.
Yeah.
Yes,
Thank
such
you.
a
So we'll see
pleasure.
you again on the
Yeah,
screen.
sure.
So
Sure,
thank
sure,
you.
sure.
Bye bye.
Thank you too. Take care of yourself.